How much do you miss Sai Baba?
I miss my life. It's my life. The old mandir was just like heaven for us. When Swami moved to Prashanti Nilayam at that time, then he started living upstairs.
You couldn't live with him anymore.
Yeah. Then we cried like anything. Swami, why did you do this? You could have stayed in the old mandir. We enjoyed 24 hours a day, and there's so much closeness and so much happiness. And newcomers, you have to share everything with them also. We don't deny that. Then Swami said one thing. See, the mother gets the first child. When she gets the first child, she pours all the love on the first child.
She spoils the first child.
Yeah. And the second child comes. But she loves the first child, but she has to take care of the second child also. So
if anybody is seeing this for the first time, they must go see part 1 because you told such wonderful stories of your early on experiences back in 1945 when Sai Baba was just 19 and you were a young girl. But your first 3 days, how they turned into 3 months there.
Then he created Vibhuti. I never used to give in the hand. He used to apply to everyone in those days. So after giving Vibhuti to everyone, all of us got up, everybody got up. When we were walking, we are not able to walk steadily. And we are just like drunkards. And Swami looking at us, having a good laugh at us. And we reached the mandir. We sat in the mandir. Then Swami said, come on, do bhajan. Nobody could sing anything. Because one is saying Govinda, one is saying Gopala, like that only. Then one elderly lady asked Swami, what is wrong with us? Why are we not able to sing properly? Then Swami said, your people are drowned in ecstasy. Your people are in bliss. That's why you are not able to control your senses and you have forgotten everything. That's why you are not able to say anything.
What's your husband's name?
Hemchand.
And did Hemchand, was he brought to you by Sai Baba? Did Sai Baba have a hand in picking your husband for you?
He only selected.
He only selected.
I was only 16 years old.
16?
Yeah. I passed my SLC exam. I wanted to go to the college at least for 1 year because in those days ladies doesn't go out for a college. As soon as I came to Parthi, after that, Swami said, you are going to get married. I was shocked. Swami, why do you want to get me married so soon? I want to go to the college and at least for some time. No, you are going to get married. I will select the boy. Then he started looking for matches. 3-4 matches came to Parthi. Swami said, oh, they are not looking nice. Oh, he's looking like a monkey. He's looking dark.
He's looking like a monkey.
Then suddenly Swami said, Mother Ganga is coming.
Mother Ganga is coming. The Ganges River is coming.
Yeah, coming. Let's go.
To Puttaparthi.
Yeah. Then we laughed. How can Mother Ganga come to Puttaparthi from Mount Kailash? And we all went out. Swami was standing there and he put his hands like this. Don't cross my hands. And when we saw, it is coming just like an ocean.
Really?
With all waves and with so much noise and is wailing and coming with so much force. And we thought, my God, it is coming with so much force. We may be drowned in Ganga like that.
You saw the Ganges River come to Puttaparthi.
So much.
Part 2. In 1945, holy man Sri Sathya Sai Baba was only 19 years of age when this 11-year-old schoolgirl, Vijayakumari, first met him at the old mandir in Puttaparthi, India. Vijaya kept a diary filled with hundreds of experiences, insights, and observations she had with Sai Baba. And this is part 2 of her story. Welcome to Sojourns. This interview was recorded in Whitefield, India, at the beginning of 2013.
Vijayama,
yes.
Welcome back to Sojourns Part 2. I just can't wait to get started with this because if anybody is seeing this for the first time, they must go see Part 1 because you told such wonderful stories of your early on experiences back in 1945 when Sai Baba was just 19 and you were a young girl. about your first 3 days and how they turned into 3 months there. You just told me a story off camera that I must have you repeat. Mr. Kasturi was, like me, a doubting Thomas when he first met Sai Baba.
Yeah.
And tell us the story of Sai Baba taking him to the Chitravatri River.
While walking with Swami, and Mr. Kasturi was also there, and Swami immediately asked Mr. Kasturi, Kasturi, please tell me where should I sit? Because he thought that Swami is sitting in the same place, something is hidden underneath the sand, he is taking out that same thing.
So Kasturi was a doubting Thomas.
Yes.
You know that Sai Baba had a history of pulling objects, materializing objects under the sand and pulling them out. And Sai Baba asked Kasturi to tell Sai Baba where to sit in the sand.
Yeah. You select a place, I will go and sit there only.
So proving that he couldn't have planted anything early.
Then he asked Mr. Kasturi, tell me what you want, then I will do it.
And Kasturi would say...
he thought maybe Swami has already kept something there, he is taking the same thing. So he said, you tell me what you want. That he used to tell unseasonal fruits.
Unseasonal fruits.
Unseasonal fruits.
So maybe it might have been an apple out of season or whatever.
Anything. So he used to say something, a mango, so beautiful, sweet smelling mango will come out.
This is so wonderful because I know there are still doubting Thomases. Baba has done so many things that it just stretches the credulity of people. And these stories, which we've heard about, we have not heard about this part of the story, where Baba would play into your doubts by saying, you choose the place for me to sit, and you ask me what it is that you would like, even if it's an out-of-season food. Kasturi must have become very much a strong believer after something like that. Or did he still have doubts sometimes?
Yeah.
What was he like, Kasturi?
For more than so many years, I can say. So many years he was like that. And afterwards, when Swami selected him to translate his speeches, and then I think he has become a staunch devotee.
Oh, he was one of the strongest for years and years and years. We're all going to have a little tea here, or I think this is tea coffee, tea and milk. Thank you for this. You were also talking about off camera, and your son was leading me to ask a couple of stories also about some events that had to do with these miracles. What was another one that you mentioned to her?
I used to ask Kasturi, do you want, what do you want? On the way to Chitra, Swami, it should rain when it was a clear day.
Okay. As usual, when we are walking with Swami, one day, it was very hot day, and we are all walking. Again, Swami looked at Mr. Kasturi and said, Kasturi, what do you want? He looked at the sky and said, Swami, it should rain. That's all. He looked at the sky, come on, rain. And it poured like anything, only that small circle.
Right around him.
Right around. It poured like anything. Then one day, he was looking at the sky as the same way. He wanted to have a beautiful, he wanted a rainbow. From here to that corner, the sky was covered with a beautiful, big rainbow.
Now, you didn't see this, did you?
They were part of it.
You were part of it.
She will say whatever she has seen.
Oh, my
Even in the book. Whatever she has seen or Swami
That
told
was
us,
the
she has
one
only
condition
covered that.
Swami told me.
Nothing, no outside.
When you write a book, whatever you have seen, whatever you have heard, only that much, nothing else should be.
Please give her beverage, because I want to make sure while we have our beverage that you have yours too. And go ahead and take a sip while I ask the next question.
Okay.
Because there's so much we want to ask, and I have a feeling that if I brought 20 hours of videotape, we'd have 20 hours worth of material here. Well, it still wouldn't be enough. Gyani asked me to make sure that I ask you about a story having to do with the third eye. So when you get a chance, tell me about that, okay?
Okay. We were going with Swami as usual to Chitravati. Swami disappeared and we were all looking for him. He's standing on the top of the hill. From there he clapped his hands and said, I'm standing here. Where are you looking for me?
This is on top of the hill by the wish-fulfilling tree?
Yeah, near
okay.
the Kalparuchi.
Many of us have climbed that hill many times, yes.
So we were all looking at Swami. From the top of the hill, Swami said, today I am going to show you something very special. You will have sun darshan. Then we all had a nice laugh because already sun has already set. That how is he going to show us the sun?
So it's coming on evening time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we are all looking at Swami, behind Swami, the sky has become pink, then red, then blood red, and it is so hot. We were not able to stand on the ground, sweating like anything. And we shouted, Swami, it is very hot. From there he said, oh, is it so? It disappeared.
It disappeared.
It disappeared. Then he said, I will show you the moon. Again we are looking at Swami. The sky became beautiful white. And immediately, just as it snow clapped, it is, and I can't describe that whiteness at all. It was so pure and nice. You know, it was cool. Then it became cooler, and it is so cold, and then freezing cold. Then we could not stand on the ground. We are all jumping, Swami. We are all shivering. Swami, it is too cold. Oh, is it so? It disappeared. Then again Swami said from the hill, today, now I am going to show you a very special darshan. That is the third eye. I am going to show you. Be alert. Don't see this side or that side. Be looking at me only. When we are looking like that, only we could see his face covered the whole sky. We could not see his body at all. Only the face covering the whole sky.
Everywhere you looked, you saw Baba's face.
Yeah, Baba's head only there. And there was a split here, as we see in the picture of Shiva, and rays of, just like electric current rays, they are flowing, they're
coming out from where the third eye would be.
Coming up from that place. And we don't know whether it is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we don't know anything. Anyhow, after some time, Baba has come down and he said, where are you looking for me? I am here. Why are you still looking there? Then he asked, why these people are lying down? We don't know, Swami. Then why they are all crying? We don't know, Swami. And then he said, oh, it's all right. Now we will all go back to Mandir. Then he created Vibhuti and never used to give in the hand. He used to apply to everyone in those days.
You would put it on your third eye?
Yeah,
okay.
Vibhuti, yeah. So after giving Vibhuti to everyone, all of us got up, everybody got up, and then we started walking. When we were walking, we are not able to walk steadily, and we are just like drunkards. We are all moaning, saying something. With the greatest difficulty, we are all walking. And we don't know why we are all walking like this. We don't know. Anyhow, we went with Swami, and Swami looking at us, having a good laugh at us. And we reached the mandir. We sat in the mandir. Then Swami said, come on, do bhajan. Nobody could sing anything. Because one is saying Govinda, one is saying Gopala, like that only. Nobody could sing properly. Then one elderly lady asked Swami, what is wrong with us? Why are we not able to sing properly? Then Swami said, because you are having that wonderful darshan of Trinetra, your people are drowned in ecstasy. Your people are in bliss. That's why you are not able to control your senses and you have forgotten everything. That's why you are not able to say anything.
What a beautiful story, yeah.
Then again he created Vibhuti and kept for everyone. Then we came back to our normal senses. After coming back to our normal senses, we started crying like anything. Swami said, why are you all crying? Then Swami, we were in such a wonderful, blissful place, so calm and quiet. Why did you bring us back again into this world? Then Swami said, you only said you cannot sing bhajans properly. And if you all people stay in bliss, who is going to play with me? Who is going to sing bhajans for me? And not only that, you people have so many duties to be done. So it is not that easy to keep you all in that blissful state. But though we came back to our normal senses, next day, at least for 2 days, we were in that blissful state. Though we are working and doing, we still had that joy in the heart, the depth of the heart.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That's just so wonderful. I want to remind people who are watching this again the importance of seeing part one because these stories are just explosive. And you're a woman who is blessed by Baba to be with Baba for 70 years.
Okay.
And so you've seen him go through so many changes. What about the changes in you? Talk to me about your own personal transformation from a young girl who didn't know much, presumably, about the spiritual path to the degree that you now know about it. How did you find yourself being transformed by Sai Baba?
I got matured.
You got matured.
Matured because as we grow up, I got matured, but having stringent, firm faith, devotion, and dedication all the time in Swami. We were brought up by him, so it was very. It is very important for me to say we brought up with his ideals, with his teachings. So we had a wonderful life.
Well, I've got so many stories, but I want to make sure I take them in order. You mentioned the story about Badrinath, the Badri trip. Tell us about that, because Gyani reminded me to ask you about that too. That's an important story.
He wanted Rasa Leela.
Kalki Avatar.
Okay.
We traveled with Swami in 1961 to Badrinath.
A long, long trip. Did you go by train?
No, from Delhi.
Yes.
Up to Delhi we go by train. From Delhi we had buses, cars and all that.
Up into the mountains.
Up to Joshimath.
Up to Joshimath.
Okay.
Up
From
to,
Joshimath, 21 miles they had to walk.
Okay.
when we reached Joshimath, the next day Swami said at 5 o'clock be ready, we will start walking.
Oh.
Yeah. Then we were all waiting outside, and Swami was coming down and he was looking so beautiful, and he said, come on now, let us walk, let us move. And we started walking with Swami. After covering nearly 11 miles, then we stopped at one place because Swami used to arrange more dandies, more horses, and that time I saw a sort of basket-like thing. It was really so funny. And Swami looked at me and said, you sit in that basket. I got shocked. No, Swami, how am I going to sit there? No, you sit. And that basket, they used to have it in their bag and tie it to their head, the rope. And when you sit, it will be very comfortable like a sofa.
So they would carry you with the rope attached around their foreheads, the porters, and you would be in the basket on their back.
Yeah, just like supported by his back, just like a sofa. First I sat in one basket, and he took me up. I said, Swami, she is very heavy for me, I can't carry her. And I said, Swami, why are you making such a fun here? Swami, please, I don't want to say. Then see the love and concern of Swami. He said, if everybody says like that, how are they going to earn their living? Come on, you sit in that basket.
So he made you sit in that basket so that they would learn to burn off their karma by carrying the load. Yes.
Then before getting into the basket, we had a condition with Bhagavan, and we said, Swami, the white horse was all the way coming with us. So that if Swami gets tired, he can ride on a horse. But he never took the horse. Then so Swami, if you ride on a horse, I am going to sit in the basket. He said, yes, all right. Then I sat in the basket and picked me up. And then Swami sat on the horse and started moving. After going, and that particular day, Swami was looking so beautiful with all the way from top to bottom. White hat, white goggles, white dress and white stick, white shoes and white gloves, everything pure white, and even the horse is beautiful white. When he sat on the horse to see Swami with that white dress, it was really such a joy. Then anyhow he started moving. After going little distance, because I am sitting in the basket so that I can see everything, And Swami tapped the horse and it started flying. And when it started flying, everybody got so panicky and they started shouting, Swami, please don't do that. You may fall down, you may fall down. But he's flying and going at such a speed, I can see Swami moving like that. Then I thought, it occurred to me, Swami, I heard about Kalki avatar. It will be in pure white. Today, I am so lucky enough to have this wonderful darshan. I am so thankful to Swami. You made me sit in the basket to have this darshan.
Wow. And for some of us from the West, let me just interrupt here, who aren't familiar with the Kalki avatar, explain what that is.
It is in the scriptures, they said that, I don't know exactly what it was. The Kalki avatar will be in white only. So I thought Swami is seeing Swami in white.
So Swami did this for your benefit.
Kalki avatar. Yeah.
He did this for your benefit. What a beautiful story. Is this gentleman I see in the background, is this your husband sitting back there?
Yes.
Okay, because he fits into the story of you and Sai Baba in a very significant way, in that what I'm led to believe from reading the book and also from talking to Gyani and Jyoti is that Sai Baba, he married the two of you. Would you talk about that? And what's your husband's name?
Hemchand.
And did Hemchand, was he brought to you by Sai Baba? Did Sai Baba have a hand in picking your husband for you?
He only selected.
He only selected. So what was that like to find out that you were about to get married to a man that you didn't know before, that Sai Baba selected for you, and the wedding itself? Yeah. Tell me about that.
I was only 16 years old.
16?
Yeah. I passed my SLC exam. I wanted to go to the college at least for 1 year, because in those days ladies doesn't go out for a college.
So that you were a very intelligent young woman. You knew what you wanted to do. You had your sights set on it. And then what happened?
Then as soon as I came to Parthi, after that, Swami said, you are going to get married. I was shocked. Swami, why do you want to get me married so soon? I want to go to the college and at least for some time. No, you are going to get married. I will select the boy. I will do everything for you. I will celebrate your marriage also. And he told my father also, don't send her to college, nothing like that. Then he started looking for matches. 3-4 matches came to Parthi. Swami said, oh, they are not looking nice. Oh, he's looking like a monkey. He's looking dark.
He's looking like a monkey.
He's so dark. No. This is not fit for you. I will select a good boy.
I can't believe Baba would say those things.
He was so, so liberal, so free, so frank. And then he said, no, you are going to get a boy who is having a car and who is having a bungalow and who is well off. Swami, why are you telling me all these things? I don't know anything. Then it so happened, and would-be husband, he came with his father to my native place. His father and my father were good friends. He came to my place as a friend to visit his friend. But after coming to my place and to my house, after seeing me, and his father said, I like to have your daughter to my son. Then immediately we said, no, without asking Swami, we are not going to answer your question. First we will ask Swami. Then we went to Parthi and Swami asked me, how is your husband? Swami, I don't know, I have not seen him, I don't know anything. He is the husband I have selected for you to get married to him.
Baba told you this.
Then he fixed the date and then he said, for the marriage I will be there. And for the reception, I am going to sing. Don't call anybody.
Baba was going to provide the entertainment himself.
For 3 hours, he sang beautiful classic music.
3 hours?
Yeah. And Meera bhajans. And everybody started crying the way he was singing so beautifully with so much bhava.
What a great story.
He performed my marriage. And he was
this is the most amazing interview I think I've ever could imagine in a million years. Tell me about the Ganga. The Ganges River.
Yeah.
I heard this story vaguely, and I just dismissed it because it must be a myth, or maybe it's a parable. It couldn't possibly have happened. The Ganges came to Puttaparthi, and you saw it.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
We were sitting in the mandir and making garlands. Lot of flowers were there.
This is the old mandir or the new mandir?
Old mandir.
Okay.
Old mandir only. So we were there and
This is
making
before
garlands.
1950.
1946.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was one.
And Swami was also sitting with us and making garlands. So beautifully can do.
He was making garlands himself.
No lady can do that. So beautiful.
In those days, just a little aside here, did Swami allow people to put garlands on him? Because ever since I've known him, I've never seen him wear garlands of any kind.
Oh, he loves garlands.
He loves garlands.
Loves garlands. As soon as we got, and Mummy used to make beautiful garland, full size.
Okay.
And we used to garland him.
So he was making garlands, you would put garlands on him,
yeah.
and then what happened?
Then suddenly Swami said, Mother Ganga is coming. Come
Mother
on,
Ganga is coming. The
let's-
Ganges River is coming
Yeah, coming, let's
to
go.
Puttaparthi.
Yeah. Then we laughed. How can Mother Ganga come to Puttaparthi from Mount Kailash? So we are still making the garlands. We didn't give much attention to it. And immediately Swami went out and said, my God, Swami has gone out. Let us go. And we all went out. Swami was standing there and he put his hands like this. Don't cross my hands. All of you stand behind my hands only. We were all standing like that. And there was no sign of Ganga at all. Then Swami said, where is the Ganga? He said, look, have patience, look. And when we saw, it is coming just like an ocean.
Really?
With all waves and with so much noise and is wailing and coming with so much force. And we thought, my God, it is coming with so much force. We may be drowned in Ganga like that.
You saw the Ganges River
And
come to
coming with so
Puttaparthi.
much noise and whirling like, and it came so close to Swami and immediately put his hand like that. Up to that level, the water is calm. Behind that, it is swirling like anything. Then Swami said, see, Mother Ganga has come all the way from Mount Kailash. Worship her, go inside. Please bring flowers, everything, and worship her. So we went inside.
That was a couple of thousand miles away, I think, or at least a couple of thousand kilometers away.
A couple thousand kilometers.
Yeah.
So we went inside, brought everything. We worshipped her, and Swami put his hands again. I am so happy, Gaga, that we have come all the way Mount Kailash.
I'm so happy,
He
Gaga.
didn't even.
We talked to the river.
Yeah. He didn't even finish the word. Everything disappeared. And we were so amazed, and we don't know what to say. We say, how can this happen? She came and went away, disappeared. But Swami was still standing there only. Then we thought, Ganga may come again. Swami, come on, let's go inside, Swami. Then he said, look at my feet. Then we saw, and his feet was covered by a beautiful garland.
Really?
And every flower was so big, with beautiful smell, and they are so fresh. Then Swami said, pick it up. And we gave it to Swami. And Swami gave all of us who were there, everybody a flower. We went home and kept it in the altar. And after 3 months, it is completely dried. Then you can't throw it. You can't eat it also like that. Then we were thinking what to do. Then Mummy said, let us mix it with vibhuti and daily we can have it.
Oh,
Like
what a
that,
beautiful
We
story.
had a wonderful darshan of Mother Ganga.
Vijay, these stories are so incredible. I don't know what's prompted me to ask this next question, but I want to ask it. I know people around the world who watch Sojourns.
Yes.
Some are hugely devoted to Sai Baba. Some are brand new,
Yeah.
and they're unsure about their faith. They're unsure about the existence of God. They're unsure about their own soul, their own Atma. Tell us about how people who fall into those categories should be reassured, should be completely filled with faith that God is real, that Baba is real to you, that these stories are real, and that there is a positive future for everybody, no matter how shallow or non-existent their faith is. Tell us about how that happens for you.
చెప్పనా కొత్త వాళ్ళు వస్తారు వాళ్ళకి నమ్మకం ఉండదు పూర్తిగా మనకేమో చాలా నమ్మకం ఇక అన్ని మధ్యలో వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు కదా మీకు ఏ విధంగా జరిగిందో అనుభూతులు జరిగినాయో వాళ్ళకి ఏమి చెప్పగలుగుతారు వాళ్ళకి ఇట్లా నమ్మకం కలగడం
ఏమని చెప్పాలి
ఏమని చెప్పాలంటే అంటే మీకు ఏ విధంగా అయితే నిజం అనిపించారో మీకు ఏ విధంగా అనుభూతులు జరిగితే ఏ విధంగా జరిగిందో అదే మీకు ఎన్నో అనుభూతులు జరిగినాయి అన్ని వివరంగా చెప్పే బదులు కొద్దిగా చెప్పినా ఎట్లా విధంగా నిజంగానే అతను భగవంతుడు అట్లా.
I didn't think I asked such a long question, but I guess I did.
పోయినప్పటి నుంచి భక్తిలో మునిగిపోయింది డౌట్గా
అంటే ఇప్పుడు కొత్త వాళ్ళకి
ఎట్లా
చెప్తారు నమ్మకం ఎట్లా కలిగిస్తారు అని అడుగుతున్నారు.
Okay.
భక్తి ఎంత ఇంపార్టెంట్.
Okay.
భక్తి గురించి చెప్పండి నమ్మకం భక్తి.
We had such stringent, firm faith and devotion in Bhagavan, and we have experienced so many hundreds of miracles, manifestations, and so many teachings from Bhagavan, and we have enjoyed so much. So because of our experience, what we have undergone, we can tell stories, what we have really seen with our eyes and what we have heard, so that we have to convey to the people. So naturally they have to believe it and get devotion.
You saw these with your own eyes. You wrote them down on scraps of paper that you found wherever you could find them, and then you kept them, and then you started a journal, and from all of these notes and memories came your stories in your wonderful book, correct?
Yeah.
And in the end, tell us about your faith. How strong is your faith in Baba?
Just like a rock.
Who is Sai Baba?
Sai Baba is everything. Sai Baba is God, Goddess, everything, in every atom. Swami is in every atom. He says, I am Sarva Bhutantaratma. I say Sarva Vyapi. So he is in everything, he is everywhere.
And Sai Baba's body is no longer here. What does that mean for us who are very sad that we cannot see him anymore?
But though you cannot see him, he is with us only. Where has he gone? That's what he said. I have not gone anywhere. Where is the need for me to come back? He played a game. He played a game, divine game, to teach us a lesson.
Does he still guide you? Does he still give you guidance?
What for?
What for?
What for? No, we are always guarded by him every second, every minute.
Your answers are so perfect. I'm really respect how well you express such profound answers to sometimes indelicate questions. The Netra Lingam experience is something Gyani wanted me to ask of you.
You please.
1,000 years back. That to not with his form, Atmic form.
We reached Badrinath and we were in the temple. So it's Swami. Swami created in the main temple a Netra Linga and Mahavishnu, and Swami kept it there. And then he created 1,000-petaled gold small lotus.
Mm-hmm.
So the Netra Linga was in dark brown and light brown color mixed. Netra means eye. And when he kept it, that Netra Linga in that gold petal, it was dazzling, and the combination was so nice. It was so beautiful. Then Swami said, let's go back to the guest house. There we will have bhajan. Then after going home, Swami said, before 10,000 years, Adi Shankaracharya has brought some lingas, and this one Netra Linga he has established underneath Badri temple, which nobody knows. Before 10,000 years means then there was no path, nothing. He flew in the air and went to so many places and established. Then Swami said, I am taken out this Netra Linga so that everybody can have the opportunity of seeing it. Then he brought that Netra Linga to each everyone. When he kept it like that, we can see the real eye, the real people in the eye, as if our own eye moves like that. It was very wonderful. Then he did Abhishekam for that with Manasa Ganga. Then he created 108 Bilvapatras, silver Bilvapatras, 108 golden flowers, Tummi flowers he created and did Abhishekam and gave it to all of us. One day in the night, at about 3 o'clock in the night, Swami came and asked my mother, I am feeling very hungry, can you make dosha for me? When Swami asked, we said, there is no question of saying no. Then she said, immediately went into the kitchen and mixing the powder. Then she called me also, come and help me. Then she made dosa. And when you put it on the pan, it makes a noise.
It fries, right.
Noise. Then immediately Swami said, no, you should not make any noise because everybody may get up. You should not make my... Swami, how can I do that? The dosa will make noise. To make dosa is my part. You see that it doesn't make noise, that is your part. But it never make any noise.
You made dosa silently.
So Mummy made 3 dosa and he ate nicely and went back to sleep. And next day, we are sitting for breakfast, Swami was sitting. There was one lady called Sakama, and she looks after Swami just like her own life. And Swami sitting for the breakfast, and he started doing like this. And she got so panicky. She came running, said, Swami, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing that? Are you not well? And he had a naughty smile on his face, and we know what we are going to get. Then he said, softly and so jokingly said, see, look at this Radhama. Last night she woke me up and made me eat 3 dosa. And it upset my stomach. And finished. All the ladies were just like tigress. They all fall on me and they are using, how can you do this? How can you do that? You people come, you make him eat and spoil his health. Like that, everybody was shouting and screaming. And Mummy was in tears actually. Swami sitting there is doing like this, you need it, you want it. He's enjoying the joke. Oh. As soon as this scene is over, Mummy went inside the kitchen again and started tears rolling down. And Swami came and he used to come just like a swirl wind. He came and before the tear drops down, he caught hold of the tears. He said, these tears are very tasty for me. Your tears are taste. Should not do. I said, why are you crying? Swami, it is very nice, sweet of you. You had such a nice joy when we are undergoing so much pain. He said, it is my Leela. Don't worry. Do you want to live for my sake or want to live for others' sake? Let them talk.
He prepared them.
Then we never felt, said, all right, when he is enjoying, why not we can enjoy? So in between we may suffer. No, never mind. We can
that's
suffer
great, that's great. You know, we're here with several other people.
That was the lesson behind it.
A powerful lesson. Anki, I want to put you on notice because you're from Germany via Australia, or the other way around, I guess. Other way around. And she brought us here today. And I want to ask you a question about what you would like me to remember to ask Vijayama here too. But first I'm going to go to Gyani. Hold on one second. And Gyani's going to give us a question or a comment that you think we should pursue now that we have this golden opportunity. I'll just hold it. Go ahead.
Okay. I think if we have the time, there is this experience which Amma had where she saw the 5-hooded snake. It was in the old mandir, and she had that wonderful experience of seeing it.
Well, who wouldn't on this earth want to hear about a 5-hooded snake that you saw yourself? in the mandir. So tell us about that.
ఆ బావి పక్కలో పాము పుట్ట ఉండే
పాము పుట్టలో అందులో
స్వామి ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రం
How could she forget the story of the five-footed snake?
కాదు 500 snake next to in the old one. She's going to
Okay.
Nagasai.
this is the other one.
All right.
There was a snake pit in one corner of the old mandir. Then, and Swami used to tell us there is a snake, very old, 500 years old, and it is there. Sometimes light used to come out from that pit. Then we said, Swami, how is it is coming? And Swami said, it is having a manikya, what you say?
Precious gem.
A precious gem
Right.
on the head. So that gem is emitting such beautiful light. That's why you are able to see. Then one day we said, Swami, let us also have the darshan of that snake, Swami. Then he said, without him nobody is supposed to go near the pit. Swami used to feed every day with milk and bananas.
He fed the snake every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So we all went with Swami, and then he said, come on, you see through the hole. When we saw through that hole, it had 5 hoods. So beautiful.
One snake with
One
5 hoods.
snake with 5 hoods. And it was wonderful.
Was it a sacred snake?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the old mandir.
And the color was so beautiful, and it is dazzling. And as soon as we were all seeing there, and Swami also seeing there, and it was moving like that in that pit, we felt, we never thought it is like, looked like a snake. It was like a dancing girl. It was
Dancing
so
girl.
wonderful and so nice. So like that.
That's a great story. I can't.
When
I don't know
Vishnu
how.
was here as Sai Baba, so Adishesha also followed.
Adishesha is also-
Okay, Anki, I'm sure there's many stories you could tell us to ask, but what's the one that you would like us to ask of her, since we have time left for a couple more stories?
How much time have you got?
Well, unfortunately, in this recording, we only have the battery only goes for about another 10 minutes. We'll get in as much as we
That's
can.
pretty good.
Plenty of
Plenty of
time. Ma has a story about the cave where Swami used to live when he was a young boy. He used to go and meet the rishis there, actually. And that is a fantastic story.
Very good. So, would you share that story with us so we could hear it? First of all, was this a cave that he talked about that was around Puttaparthi, or a cave up in the Himalayas?
Near Kalparucha.
Okay.
Under Kalparucha.
All right. So tell us that story.
One day we were all sitting like this, and Swami was talking, and he said, there is a cave near Kalparucha, which nobody has seen that, but when I was a boy, I used to disappear for some time, nearly 2 months like that. And then we said, Swami, what were you doing in the cave? How can you stay there? Swami said, I used to meet a lot of Maharshis, Mahatmas, enlightened souls, and we used to discuss about the welfare of the world, and so many things we used to do like that.
So he really had all these ongoing
Yeah.
discussions with
Yeah.
these
Discussions
elevated
with-
souls.
Yeah. Then Swami said, in that cave there is a writing table, ink bottle, a pen, Gita book, and kamandalu, stick is, everything is there. But one thing, don't try to go into the cave and see, because there is a big lion always sitting there. Oh, I said, oh, it's wonderful, he said. But my brother is always very adventurous. Whatever Swami says not to do,
He
will
does.
do it. Because he wants to see why Swami is telling that. So in the afternoon, he called me, now come on, let's go and see the cave. I said, are you mad? Swami said, there is a lion, how can, he will say like that only, come on, let's go. He dragged me actually. When we went near the cave is just, the shape is like this. No steps, nothing, so steep. No steps, nothing. Anyhow, he jumped down, he dragged me inside, I also went down, and it was full of thorns and pebbles, and I said, how are we going to walk? He said, come on. As we moved little more, and it's quite dark, I said, my God, what can we see? He said, let us move little further. And we went little further. There was a small hole in the roof, and light was coming into that room. As Swami said, everything we can see, everything, writing table, everything was there. Then my brother said, come on, let's move little further, we go inside the cave. As soon as we little further, we heard the lion roar.
Oh no! The lion.
Then I said, finished, we are finished. Now the lion is going to jump on us and eat us. We are not going to go back.
You heard the lion roar.
Then we were still standing there. Then we can see the lion sitting. He was such a majestically sitting, and eyes were just like fireballs. And it was so angry. I said, my God, now it is going to come.
Why was it angry? Because you were intruding in its space, or why do you think it was angry?
Intruding, yeah. Without Swami's permission.
Because it doesn't like, because we have come without Swami's permission. Then we started back running, thinking that lion may come back of us. With the greatest difficulty, we climbed the wall, and all the clothes were torn, and blood coming out from. Then we ran and ran. Then my brother said, let us not go by the front door. We will enter by the back door, because front door, Swami's room is there. So we went to the back door. As soon as we went there, Swami was standing near the back door.
Amazing. Baba was standing there?
Yes, Swami was standing there. And when we looked at him, I told my brother, that lion is better than this lion. Because Swami's face was so serious, and he was so angry, and even his eyes were so red. And I said, my God, how are we going to face him? Then we stood there and we didn't want to move. Then Swami called my brother, and he went there. Swami slapped him right and left. I said, how dare you can go there without my permission? If something happened, how am I going to answer your parents? Anyhow, then he called me. I thought, so same treatment I am also going to get. But as soon as I went near Swami, because you are a girl, I cannot slap you. But he caught hold of my ear, and you know the nerve, and he pressed the nerve so hard, and it was such a pain, tears rolling down, but I couldn't scream or shout because everybody is looking at us. Then he said, go inside. Then we went inside, and we had nice slapping from my mother.
They're very happy though that the lion didn't eat you. We're almost out of time. Vijayamma, and this could come from anybody, but is there any favorite story that we didn't touch upon? What's one of your favorite stories that we haven't talked about yet with Sai Baba?
Each and every story is favorite for me.
Okay. They're all great stories. What's the greatest of the great stories? Okay, you found one. Good. Yeah.
As usual, one day we were all sitting with Swami, and Swami said, Swami, come on, let's all go out, and there is a big Tulsi garden, we'll go there.
A big garden?
Tulsi.
Okay.
Basil leaves, basic garden. We went to the garden, and we have never seen the Tulsi plants so big, they're just like bushes.
Okay.
Then Swami said, come on, all ladies go and pluck that basil leaves and bring it. And we brought it just like a hillock. Then we started making garland. Swami also sat with us, made a garland. But while making the garland, Swami put one condition. Whoever makes the garland to correct size, they will get one more Pada Namaskar.
So you had to really think about how to make it the correct size in order to get that extra boon. Yeah. And this is back in 1947 or 48 when he was still a young boy.
46.
1946, he was 19 or 20. Okay, so what happened then?
Then after making the garlands, we garlanded him. None of our garlands are up to the correct size.
Nobody got the extra.
The garland which Swami made, that was the perfect garland. That was the perfect size. Then he said, oh, none of you are going to have Pada Namaskar, come on, no gift at all. Then after removing all those garlands, he called the men, he said, make balls out of these thick balls. So we can't understand what is going to play. Anyhow, the men made big thick balls. Then Swami said, now we are going to play. Swami was standing in the center, ladies one side and gents one side. He started throwing the ball.
I see. So he had them make the balls so you could all play the game.
Yeah. And we were shouting and screaming, running hither and thither. Swami, you are very injustice. You are only playing with the men. Swami, come on, to the ladies' side also. Like that, we are all enjoying so much. We don't know how many hours we played, we don't know. Then as it became little dark, and Swami said, come on, let's go back, it is getting dark. Then that time also when we started walking, we could not walk properly. We are wobbling and like that. Anyhow, like that only we reached the mandir and we sat there. And then Swami said, one lady said, Swami, how beautifully you have danced, Swami. How nice you were. Then everybody said, Swami, you danced with me also. So all people, everybody, whoever was there, everyone is saying, Swami, you dance with me, you dance with me. Then we thought, how is Krishna played in those days with the Gopikas, that is called Rasa Krida. Swami, you are Krishna, you can do anything. We played with you and we are really can't describe the joy we had. And we were in bliss at that time also.
I'm sure you were. I'm sure it was wonderful.
Then Swami said, because of playing with God, you people are feeling so excited, in ecstasy and blissful, and that is Rasa Krida, he told. Then we thought, my God, how fortunate we are, how lucky we are to play with Swami, the verily God, Sai Krishna.
Oh, how wonderful. These stories that we've shared over part 1 and part 2, 2 hours worth of stories, we could go on for hours.
Yeah.
We're only in the 1940s, from 45 to 1950. And just a final question to wrap this 2-part series up. In 1950, I guess he might have been around 24 years old or so, give or take a year. He established the new mandir, the beautiful new mandir, which is now a paradise with wonderful flowering trees and bushes everywhere. And it looks like it's been there forever, but from the photos I saw, it was just bare ground, no trees, no plants. When he made that mandir, which forever became known as the main mandir, were you happy or were you sad that he left the small, intimate setting of the small mandir where you first became aware of Sai Baba? Was that a difficult transformation for you to make, to go from one to the other?
The old mandir was just like heaven for us. When Swami moved to Prashanti Nilayam at that time, then he started living upstairs.
You couldn't live with him anymore.
Not so close.
Yeah. Then we cried like anything. Swami, why did you do this? You could have stayed in the old mandir. We enjoyed 24 hours a day, and there's so much closeness and so much happiness. And Swami, you have come to the new mandir. And naturally, because we're staying in the upstairs, we are not supposed to go up unless he comes down, unless he talks to you. Then only we can have the freedom of talking to him. As soon as he came down from the stairs and started, we never had that freedom of running to him and talking to him. Unless he calls you, we are not supposed to go there. And it was such a torture, I can say.
It was all different from that point forward, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And more people probably started coming.
Yes.
And then there were lines.
Yeah.
And then there were interviews by individual.
Yeah.
So it was these early years that you had your heart's content, association and love and tricks and fun and all those things.
Naturally.
And how much do you miss Sai Baba?
I miss my life. He's my life. I miss everything. But one thing he told us, as people started coming in hundreds and thousands, we used to speak to Swami anytime we want. But we lost that opportunity also. But one day, my mother felt, Swami, at least you can look at us. At least you can give a smile. Why are you not even giving that much opportunity? That time it so happened, Swami gave us an interview, and Mummy asked, Swami, why can't you do that? Because you gave us so much joy, we are so happy. And newcomers, you have to share everything with them also. We don't deny that. Then Swami said one thing. See, the mother gets the first child. When she gets the first child, she pours all the love on the first child.
She spoils the first child. Yeah.
And the second child comes. But she loves the first child, but she has to take care of the second child also. So naturally the first child can't get that much share. Then third child, fourth child, like that. So the first child has to take care of these children also. Though she is losing her share and she has to look after the like that, then you are very few people, and the way you enjoyed, the new people can never dream of such a thing. You have drunk all the juice out of the sugar cane juice you have drunk. And what people are now coming, they are not able to enjoy. So see me in everybody. I am the mother. They are also my children. I have to share everything with everyone. From that time, we didn't cry. We didn't feel bad. Said, oh, we can see Swami in everybody, his family. That is Vishwa Kutumba.
This is the eve of New Year's Eve. The day after tomorrow begins 2013. The first child is sharing all these years later, 70 years later, the joy to us, the second and third and 3,000th child, the joy, the love.
We are also waiting anxiously for the child to come out.
This has been so much fun.
I know.
Vijayakumari, you've blessed us enormously with your words today.
I have no one to, I am also waiting in the list to get blessed by Bhagavan. What am I? Who am I to bless somebody?
I wish that you live another 50 years to see Prema Sai.
No need. No need. I told Swami, I don't want to come. When you are coming as Prema Sai, we had enough. Let everybody enjoy.
Yeah.
So I don't want to come
You
again.
can only use so much ecstasy, right? You can only take so much ecstasy. Thank you again so very much.
Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
Shri Sai Ram. Sai Ram.